The cheerleaders.
And they sell pizza for free.
And you get free pizza if they score so many points, and it's just so much fun.
Friday's game between the New Jersey Nets and the Toronto Raptors had all the razzmatazz you'd expect from the NBA, although a little dampened by the two teams' poor league positions. When Toronto played New York in the NBA's first ever game, the players, officials and fans could never have envisaged that 65 years later there'd be matches on the other side of the world. And yet, in 2011, following on from Japan and Mexico, London is hosting regular season games.
Now, as it happens, these games may not really be that significant in terms of the destination of the 2011 NBA Championship, but in terms of the future globally of the sport of basketball, they may just turn out to be the most important since that one back in 1946.
In game one of the back-to-back series, New Jersey broke a 6-game losing streak with a 116-103 points victory. Brook Lopez top-scored for the Nets with 25, and all-star Darren Williams finished with 11 assists in what was technically a home game for New Jersey. Even 30 points from DeMar DeRozan couldn't prevent the Raptors losing their 12th straight on the road. Toronto, though, have their chance for revenge on Saturday. Ashley House, Al Jazeera.
Well, Lindsey Vonn has won the downhill World Cup title for the fourth time in a row after finishing second behind Anya Persson in Travesio, Italy. Persson set a time of 1 minute 26.91 seconds to comfortably claim her first win of the season and has been hampered by knee problems. Vonn was 0.73 seconds behind the Swede. The American now has a 143 points lead over Germany's Maria Reisch on the top of the downhill rankings with just one race to go. And that's it for me, Adrian.
Sana, many thanks indeed. Stay with us on Al Jazeera. We'll continue our coverage of the developments out of Libya. In the last hour, one doctor says that at least 30 people have been killed after earlier clashes on Saturday in the town of AlJazeera.
We do accept that there was very bad mistakes made in our banking area.
Behind the headlines,
most South Koreans are not interested in reunification.
Is the inside story at this time on Al Jazeera.
Homes have crumbled and many buildings have been left just empty shells.
Tensions are high. Riot police trying to control thousands of Greek protesters on the streets of Athens.
A British court has approved the go-ahead for WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange to be extradited.
The Gaddafi is waging a war against the Libyan people. They are killing civilians mercilessly. They're using ammunition, live ammunition.
Hello, you're with Al Jazeera. Adrian Finnegan here in Doha. A reminder of our top stories this hour, including the latest from Libya. Rebel fighters are claiming victory after fresh clashes erupted on Saturday in the town of AlJazeera. At least 30 people, mostly civilians, are said to have been killed. One doctor there told Al Jazeera that there have been as many as 200 people injured. Anti-Gaddafi forces are celebrating in the key oil port of Ras Lanuf. They've managed to hang on to the city after repelling an attack by government loyalists. But some of the government soldiers have reportedly switched sides. We've also been hearing reports of fresh airstrikes on Ras Lanuf. Anti-government fighters say that they're also in control of another key oil port. Brega is west of the capital Tripoli. Witnesses there say that at least 24 people were killed in clashes on Friday. Saudi Arabia has banned all protests and marches. State television says the decision was made after minority Shia Muslims staged small demonstrations in the oil-producing eastern province. And in Oman, the Sultan has replaced 2 government ministers after protests erupted demanding reforms and an end to corruption. Oil workers calling for more government investment have also been staging a sit-in. So let's return to Libya and the uprising there. A deadly assault has taken place in AlJazeera between forces loyal to Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi and those who oppose him. One doctor there says that at least 30 people have been killed in Saturday's fighting. The battle's crucial for loyalists determined to secure their stronghold in nearby Tripoli. Lawrence Lee takes a look now at the ongoing fight for control of key cities.
This is the sound of a town fighting to avoid being overrun.
What is happening now is heavy bombing on the city by tanks and heavy weapons and mortars and extremely heavy weapons. And the rebels are struggling to resist with very primitive means. And they have no mercy. They're very brutal. There's a large number of injured and a lot of people killed on the streets. They have no mercy on civilians. The tanks that belong to the regime are attacking anything and everything indiscriminately.
The Gaddafi security forces are gathering up at the outskirts of the city and preparing for another attack. And the revolutionaries here are bracing themselves and reorganizing their lines to prepare themselves to defend the city.
Undoubtedly, the suggestion of AlJazeera being gradually taken back by Gaddafi will be seen as a sign that he's regaining ground, although it's a mixed picture. The rebels, for instance, say they've taken Ras Lanouf and are on the march towards Gaddafi's hometown of Sirte. There's still plenty of resolve here, apart from anything else they captured and then ransacked the symbolic prize of Gaddafi's beachfront residence in the town, which must have been gratifying for them. But more importantly than that, Ras Lanouf has oil, lots and lots of it.
At the beginning there, you see from here up to 10 kilometers, the port, the oil seaport, that's for exporting oil. You see, Ras Lanouf, that's the biggest in Libya here.
And Brega, further east, also still seems to be out of Gaddafi's control. Two things are becoming clear. First of all is that increasingly the fighting's being concentrated around oil towns, which it's hardly surprising Gaddafi's so keen to reclaim, while his assets are being seized all over Europe. His forces are also keen to destroy arms dumps in the hands of rebels. This one went up in flames in Benghazi, although it's not clear how. More than a dozen were killed, the funerals demonstrating once again how united Benghazi is against the government in Tripoli. The other development is that it's clear the fighting's becoming harder, and all the reports from the frontline towns suggest more people being killed than in previous days. The main reason why the two sides are so deadlocked is because neither is particularly strong. But all the same, it's hardly surprising the words civil war are beginning to appear more frequently to describe what's happening in Libya. Lawrence Lee, Al Jazeera.
We'll come back to the situation in Libya a little later. Now, though, to China, where Premier Wen Jiabao has pledged to reduce inflation and corruption and to raise income levels. He told the annual National People's Congress in Beijing that the measures are necessary to maintain social stability. Melissa Chan reports now from Beijing.
It's a formal and serious affair, with officials from across the country, near and far, convening over the next 10 days. There's often a celebratory mood on the first day of Congress, with leaders looking back at the past year's economic accomplishments. But in the Great Hall of the People, China's premier used his opening speech as an opportunity for an honest assessment of what's going on in the country.
We are keenly aware that we still have a serious problem, and that our